Hey everyone. So this is the unboxing and initial impressions of the California model Ruger Max-9. So just to keep everyone happy, do the check. There you go. Okay, so where do I begin? Well, the price point, first of all, I'll start there, and we'll kind of compare it basically with the Sig P365 right here. This has been checked, so please don't make me do that all over again. So price point on this is about $700 plus for the California version, plus all your taxes and FFL fees, etc. This here, for the California version, I paid $320. So there's quite a difference in price. Is this worth twice as much as this? Well, I guess it's kind of depends on what you're going to use it for and what you need. I only got this because it's such, for $320, as long as this thing functioned, I was going to be happy. And it didn't get off to a really good start though. So I received the gun. First I buy it from off a gun broker. It's brand new, of course. And as soon as I get it home, I check, and the slide locks back like this. When you release the magazine, here, this was on the original one. Brand new, never even shot it. When you pull the magazine out, this is open, and you go to drop the slide, back into the position. And if you had this in with a round in, same thing. But you go to put this in, and it didn't do this. It didn't do that. When you pull it back, this was locked in the up position, and this was flopping around loose. And so that was the first indication. Now, I did a lot of research on these prior to buying it, because sure, it was cheap, $320, but still, you don't want to buy something that everybody's bagging on. But one of the things that I saw numerous times, California and non-California versions, was exactly what it was doing. There was two things that this was doing, and that was one of them. The slide wouldn't release when it was locked open, because what happened was this was defective. The spring was not aligned or something, or the frame base was warped or something, and it was very common on California and non-California. This was had a manufacture date of March of this year, 2024, and when I called them, they were kind of surprised. Not that it was doing it, but it was doing it on a late manufactured model, a serial number. And so they were really good. The customer service was great. I sent it back, and they fixed it in like 2 or 3 days, and then they sent it back FedEx. And I just went to the range just now for the first shots after all this time, and it was fine. And I have a few more comments about that, and it's fixed now. But that was the first thing. That was the first experience with Ruger and the Max-9 California, was that it was broke before I even fired one round off of it. And it was a common thing. That was the crazy thing. You just have to do some searches, and many people have posted them online. And sure enough, this was the same thing. The other issue was the trigger. These triggers are, they're pretty, so here's the Sig, and here's the Max-9. They're pretty sloppy, and the complaint everybody had, they've always had, was that if you press at an angle, like an angle here, an angle there, you can miss triggering the safety latch here. That's kind of was, to me, that wasn't a big deal, because that only happens if you're sloppy, if you press in as you're pulling this, or if you're indecisive. With practice, this trigger is not an issue. I don't think it should be an issue for anybody. You just have to practice and know how to shoot. You got to learn how to shoot these things. As far as the red dot, well, you know, to me, it's no loss of not having a red dot on here. I mean, spending $300, $250, $300 for a red dot and a $70 trigger, you've now spent more than the gun itself. That doesn't make sense. So anyway, overall, this is an accurate gun. It's an accurate shooter. I didn't do that great, but it was, you know, my first time out with it for new ownership. So, you know, it's like any gun you have to get used to, but it's an accurate gun. It feels good. I mean, the grip, the ergonomics of the whole thing, to me, it feels really good. The trigger, like I said, the trigger is people have been complaining about this since this Max-9 came out. And it's really not a bad trigger, actually. It's a long pull, and you have to be forceful. You have to have proper grip. You can't push in and be indecisive. You have to have, when you're ready to fire this, you have to be centered on there. And there's nothing wrong with that. I didn't have one problem at the range today. That you know, not 100 rounds, but a lot of rounds, over 50 rounds, almost 100 probably, and no issues with the trigger, no issues with any of that. It shot well, it shot accurate. It's no complaints, no complaints. So again, it's half the price of the Sig. It just depends what you're looking for. The Sig is a Sig. I mean, it's you know, some might argue this is one of the best pocket pistols there are. But again, this is a good pistol. It's a little larger, it's a little bigger dimension-wise, not much. It's in the same class, and it's, I don't know, I didn't weigh them, but they're very similar. They're both 10 rounds, 10 plus 1, and the trigger feels a little better on this, but so what? And hopefully this issue here with the slide lock won't magically reappear. Again, when I sent this back, they knew exactly what it was. They knew exactly how to fix this. They fixed it within a couple days and got in FedEx, and the customer service at Ruger is wow, it was great. It was nice to deal with a customer service like that. And I got it back and couldn't wait to get to the range, run some rounds through it for the first time, because again, I never shot this before I sent it back. Well, I don't know if that says something, but there you have it. If you get one of these, you got to put the practice in for the trigger grip. Get used to it, just like any other gun. You can forget about putting a red dot on because of this California setup here. It's not like the Sig. This thing is so well designed, how they had the cutout behind the LCI, and it works. It fits, everything functions. This, you can't get one in. I'm not even sure you can use a dovetail red dot that I like to use on some of my Gen 3 Glocks. But it's, again, I'm not going to put $300 in a $300 gun of improvements. It's just, there's something about that that's just not, it's not right doing that. And that's my take on the new, well, not new, but the new to California, somewhat. It's not brand new. I think it's been in California maybe 3 months on the roster, maybe. So the Ruger California Max-9 is well worth the money if you're not looking, if you don't have super high expectations or have to have a Sig or something. This is I wouldn't, if I did carry, I wouldn't mind carrying this. Here's a few shots.
I think I won. That's one was
I got